today's lecture, which is about the different graphs related to competitive market. So first of all, we will take the case of economic profit in perfect market. In perfect market, as we know that there are large number of buyers and sellers, there is a huge demand and huge supply. Nobody is controlling either demand or supply. There is no government regulations, and there is a homogeneous product. Homogeneous means that for consumer, all the products of that type, they are same. Okay, so in this, first of all, we will take quantity demanded and supply on x-axis, and we will take price or cost on y-axis. Okay, so we will draw a y-axis, x-axis, and since we know that there are large number of buyers and sellers, the demand is almost horizontal. Okay, we know that the price, the demand, the average revenue is same. Okay, so this is the horizontal line, which is your demand. The price will remain same. You can increase your quantity demanded or supplied, but the price will remain same. Nobody can have a more price or lesser price in the market, because they cannot get more price, because already there are many other sellers in the market, and they cannot have a lesser price because there are other consumers who are willing to give the product at same price. Okay, so now after this we will draw the marginal cost curve. Okay, this is the marginal cost curve in the red. Okay, so marginal cost curve means per unit how much we are spending, per unit how much there is a increase in the cost per unit. Okay, if we are increasing, so initially it will increase, and slowly when you will get the scale, a proper scale, it will decrease. Okay, and this is much clear with this yellow graph, that is average total cost. Okay, this yellow graph is average total cost, which will give you a better idea that how the cost is changing. Okay, so this cost is increasing, then decreasing, the average total cost is decreasing to its bottom, and then again it will increase. So what we will do, the point where the demand is equal to marginal cost, that will be the point where we are ready to supply our quantity demanded and quantity supplied by the suppliers. Okay, so the cost is the point where this quantity interacts with the cost curve, average total cost. Okay, this whole area marked will be your profit in the perfectly competitive market. So you can see that what is the variation. The point to be noted here is what is the variation between the price and the cost. Okay, so in this case your marginal revenue, demand, average revenue and price is same. It is a horizontal line. Okay, this is our profit. Okay, the pink area is profit. Okay, so this is the profit, but the whole white is our cost. Okay, this is our cost, white, and this pink is our profit. Now if we want to know that what is the variable cost, how much is the variable cost and how much is the fixed cost, so for that what we can do is we can draw a average variable curve. Okay, like average total, we will draw a average variable cost. Okay, so what will be the shape of average variable cost? Yes, it will be same as average total cost, because the slope of average total cost is decided by the variable cost, because fixed cost remains fixed. Okay, there is no change in the fixed cost. Okay, and the point where it will cut the quantity demanded line will give you the demarcation point for variable cost, which is in yellow, and rest is your fixed cost. The main point is, like, profitability in such case is very less, as the large number of buyers and large number of sellers, buyer and sellers, they have a very narrow margin, because the buyers, they have a identical product, sellers, they don't differentiate the product from different buyers. Okay, and there is no advertising, so there is no psychological differentiation of the product. Okay, and buyers and sellers, they are reasonably well informed about their products and prices, and there is a free entry and exit. So now we will discuss the monopoly. As we know that monopoly is an alternative extreme of perfect competition, which is characterized by single seller. Monopolies can be local, regional or national, but the analysis is same. So we will draw y-axis and x-axis. So this is our demand, marginal revenue. Since there is only one seller in the market and there are many buyers in the market, the firm produce is unique and has no close substitutes. So okay, they choose only one price, and since nobody can enter and there is a asymmetric information to consume, basically monopoly chooses to produce quantity where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and monopoly then chooses the highest single price it can charge for its level of production, which coincides with the point on the demand curve, because the monopolist knows that it is the maximum profit it can earn. Marginal cost is positive and price is greater than marginal cost curve, then to maximize the profit, monopolist must operate on the elastic portion of the demand curve, where the elasticity is greater than 1. Further, firms demand the closer price to marginal cost. The less elastic the firms demand, the greater the difference between price and the marginal cost. So now we will move to monopolistic competition. This monopolistic competition is characterized by a large number of firms making slightly different product in contrast with the perfect competition. Monopolistic competition is a blend of perfect competition and monopoly. So the demand for monopolistically competitive firm is downward sloping. Product differentiation can be actual or perceived. In short run, the firm maximizes profit by producing where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. There is an interesting feature of monopolistically competitive industries is that as long as at long run equilibrium, firms are producing less than minimum efficient scale. In other words, the firm has excess capacity of equilibrium. This is a potential source of inefficiency. If only firm will produce more, per unit cost will fall and so the price. However, the individual firms want to maximize their profit, not minimize per unit cost. But sometimes it is useful. This extra capacity might be appreciated. For instance, suppose in the case of corona, the extra capacity of hospital may be appreciated because if the hospitals operate at full capacity at all the time, you would have to wait for your bed to become available in order to get medical care. And now we will study the graph of oligopoly, which is last and the most important. As in oligopoly market, there are few firms, they compete with each other typically in a very strategic fashion. In previously all market structure, the firms make decision without considering how their decision influence the decisions of other firms. But here, in this case, oligopolistic models recognize the decision of one firms likely to impact the decisions of other firms. Suppose a industry A reduces the prices of their product, then they expect that their sales in the short run will increase. However, the other industries in same product will experience this decrease in the market share and will likely to reduce their price too, and this will actually reverse the returns. So they need a strategic interaction. Oligopolists face challenging question when make decisions. How will one firm decision impact the decisions of other? Two different approaches of oligopolistic markets are there. The King demand model has four basic assumptions for each firms in the market. In King demand model, first one, if I lower my price, everyone else will lower their price. If I raise my price, no one else will raise their price. If someone else lowers price, so I will. If someone else raises price, I will not. This interesting implication of four assumption is that the demand curve has a kink at the prevailing market equilibrium price, as you can see in the graph. So where does this kink came from? Suppose there is a market price P and the firm decides to raise its price. The quantity it can sell will decline significantly because none of the competitors will increase the price. Consumers will purchase from the other firms because they have lower prices. Therefore, above that price P, the firm's demand is relatively elastic. If on the other hand, the firm decides to lower the price, all of the company follow the same suit. Since all firms lower the price, the individual firms does not enjoy a large increase in the amount it can sell. The demand below the price is relatively inelastic. As a King demand has an implication of marginal revenue curve. In monopoly, the demand is continuous and marginal revenue is continuous as well. In King demand model, imperfect competition, marginal revenue is discontinuous at price V. So this is all for graphs of market structures. Thank you.